Oop. Okay. Hello. Today we're going to be doing kind of a bunch of random stuff. So, because there's a lot that I want to cover that's just kind of like little bits here and there.
Gifting 5 tier 1 subs to Tech community. They've gifted a total of 285 in the channel. And a line.
Spooky, thank you. I really appreciate that for the 5 gifted subs. And G-Pin, thank you for the 31 months there. That's coincidentally the same thing as 5. But I appreciate that as well. So we have a special guest here today that will never really get used on stream again, unfortunately, which is a shame because it's awesome. And I really, really like it. Oh my gosh, it's so good, but useless for streams. You'll understand in a moment. So this is a camera jib, and I have the arm cam on there, and you'll understand why as we go along. This is not going to be good. To help demonstrate that, though, let me walk you through what today's objectives are. First off, look at how gloriously smooth and stable this thing is. So a couple of things. One, we're going to be installing new springs in the IBM Model 01. Looking forward to that. We're doing that later on in the stream. We're going to tear into this just so that I can see whether or not this is a 360K or a 1.2 megabyte disk drive, because I have no idea, and I was going to take this home to use it to record a second channel video and do the printout for this month, and then I realized I have no idea what kind of discs I need, so let's figure that out. And then the power strip, that's it. I'm making a couple of small changes to the power safety setup stuff that I want to cover. So, yeah, this is, yeah, new arm, less, well, that's just because I don't have the tension set fully tight on there. New arm, not bouncy at all because it's counterbalanced, which is how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, so let's talk about why this will and won't work. And we'll do this by just opening up the PlotDrive. There we go. Unaffected by table? What do you mean unaffected by table? This isn't attached to the table either. It's attached to the workbench. It just happens to be on the same floor as the table. And because it's not counterbalanced, it wobbles. So there's really, yeah. Supplied by Calcom. Yep.
G-O-G-A-D-G-E-T 360 S-I-Z-H-C-E-R 100. We all know from Polly that springs are critical to the entire world's economy. End of line.
Go Gadget, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that.
Next one, subscribe with Prime. They've subscribed for 51 months, currently on a 51-month streak. And says new month, new sub. Keep up the good work. End of line.
Macalak, thank you for the Prime sub and for 51, holy moly, 32, 48, 51 months there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shall we do this through the medium of interpretive dance? Philip, you're here already. Excellent. Okay, then. I won't drag my feet too much then. We're going to do a couple of random projects here first, and then we're going to install the springs. Okay, so PlotDrive. This should, in theory, and yeah, I saw Lucky Bob, yes. In theory, this should let me use, oh gosh, this to drive LPT and maybe serial printers. I can't, well, I can do that. There we go. Yeah, so the current thought is that this just takes FAT12 disks and then will output the data from the file directly over those ports. So, made it on time? Excellent. So let's see here. What drive, is there a standard LPT printer protocol? Yes, it's just generic ASCII. Oh my gosh, look at that, so cool. This was looked at by Christy, and we're now gonna kind of start getting to the problem here, but we're getting closer. Okay, so made in the UK, really? What? Oh, I guess it is multi-voltage. Huh, all right. Got another 20 minutes before you gotta run. Oh, you know what? Then we'll just do springs right now. All right, we'll get to this in a moment. This is really not gonna work, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so, Philip, from La Rose, Louisiana here. Not drop the magnet. That would be really, really bad. There we go, which is... Did I round that to New Orleans? I think I may have. That's... Yeah, I think I did. So... Right here. Boop. Is this mail call live? One package mail call live, yes. So, Philip sent... One moment, trying to work this out. This box, which contains, I actually haven't looked in here yet. It's fantastic. I didn't know you'd have the addresses on there though. Thank you. That is absolutely phenomenal though. But here we are. This is, oh my gosh, they're so good. Oh, yeah, it's all right. Hopefully it's less of a problem for you than it is me. It's not, let me rephrase that. It's not really super huge of an issue. So these are new key return springs for the IBM typewriter back there. So we're gonna go ahead and install that on the one that is broken here. Let me grab, there's enough space here, right? That's one of those things you got to think about with a machine of this size. Okay. So this is the IBM Model 01 that I have been restoring. It's needed a couple other little things here and there if you've seen the video. New World Stock reproduction. Philip made those springs himself, which is phenomenally impressive. One of these will go to the spool over here, but I might get to that or focus on that later because the more immediate concern is the spring that goes on, I believe now this hammer, or is it this one? It's probably this one, that we took off to put onto S because S was hitting the paper so hard that it was tearing holes in the sheet. So this is a super thick paper, and we use that to get a sample set. I now have a 1200 DPI scan of the printout. You can see the CanoScan Lide there I used to do that. These gamers who put yellow paint where he needs to pay attention. So yeah, now what we need to do is flip this over and get the thingamajigs, the spring installed. So I bumped that. Not my favorite thing there, but not a lot of options I've got for this. All right, I'm gonna get the globe out of here because I'm about to be moving giant heavy stuff all over the place. By the way, this is really awkward. That's not the reason that I'm not gonna be using this for streams, but that is a big reason. Okay. Can it be ceiling mounted? No. I mean, I guess I'm gonna need a blowtorch. But what am I gonna do? Ceiling mount it on a rack so it can back and forth? It doesn't matter though, because we haven't got to the part that doesn't work yet, which is right now. So the spring I need to replace is right here. And there is one maneuver that this can do that this cannot. So this goes up and down. That's right, inverted flight controls there. It can go side to side, but you know what it can't do? In and out. There is no way for me to get this to angle into there except for to pick the whole thing up and then move it over and then check and see, was that a good angle? Maybe.
Have joined. End of line.
Ben, hello and welcome, Raiders. And that was perhaps not the most ideal angle, so I need to pick it up again and shift it over. And that might work here. Core XY ceiling mount, yeah. So that's the issue of why we're not going to use this in the long run, is there is no in and out, and any benefit we get from the wobbliness of this being eliminated, we lose with having to pick it up and wave the camera around. So, okay. Did I do this on its side last time, actually? Or on its back, maybe? You know what? I think I did it on its back. Ugh. Because I'm realizing, I think I was looking at the opposite part. Here, need giant 50 camera with lens wrapper on the front and motorized dolly. I think I just need an operator. That would solve it. But there's not room or budget for that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, look, Bob. Okay. So now we can kind of get in there, and then I have to move this again. All of the above, but it would be awesome. Yeah. Okay. So now it's this arm here. That's the one I need to get the hook on.
100, a new job for the CX. We just blamed them for even more though. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Where did my retention thing go? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get a new one. But trying not to whack the arm. Okay. Wrap this around. Then. Oh, actually, can't. Yeah, there we go. I have no idea where is good, so I'll just hold it there for now and take a look. Is the light on an arm still? No. Why would I do that? Okay. Has the electromatic? It's fine. Don't worry about the strobing. Everybody loves that. Thank you, Flashlight, so much for having stupid, useless SOS mode. I would love to see one news article about someone who was saved by Flashlight SOS mode. Just one. Okay. The weight of the flashlight being put on there is enough that it upset the counterbalance. Okay. Yeah, I can still see that well enough. So, springs. That's right, you did mark it with the gamer line. That's the one to use. I forgot, yes. So, this is the official blessed one that will replace one of these. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Here, let me refocus this to the closer one so you can get a feel for just how dang spot on that is. That is incredible. So yeah, Philip made this spring for me. You took the platen out, would it be easier to get the arm out of the other side? No, because I have to hook it onto this. Like, we're replacing one of these. That's not the platen you can see there. It looks like it, it's not. So here I'm rolling the platen. You can see that that's not moving. Okay, so I am going to make one change to this because I need it to be open to be able to hook it onto there. So I'm going to take, I think, this side, and I'm going to try and open this up just a touch. Would this side be better? I think this side might be better. You know, maybe I don't need to. I'm not sure. If I can push the slot through there, it might hook on and then I can just pull it backwards. Let's give it a try. I don't know. Yeah, it'll banish. Recommend pliers unless you want to provide a blood sacrifice. Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to avoid that right now. Let me see what I can do. Let's see if I can push it on so that this goes under here like that, because then it could pop in. This is not going to be easy though, no matter what. I kind of knew that going into it though. Where's my other tweezers? Stupid someone cleaned and put all the stuff away. So annoying. Okay, there's the bent ones. I don't want those right now. Okay, there's the flat ones. These are the springs under the basket. Yes. So I'm trying to get a new one. This is the leading edge here, fed onto this hole right there, which is going to be super easy. Okay, I don't think going up actually helps at all. Oh my gosh, this is one of those things where it just seems like, oh, it's so easy. Just reach in there and put it on, and then I try and cram my hand in there. Oh, my hand is way bigger than everything else. Bad other hammer, stay out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bend it open. Okay, it's one moment. Oh, it's weird having the light follow it. Camera, focus. Usually means it's in some stupid menu. There we go. That wasn't even close. There, jeez. Okay. By the way, it really sucks being directly under the camera like this because it just blows hot air straight down on me. So that's fun. Yeah, trying to be very, very careful about how I do this. Okay, so I have a very small opening here to the side now. I'm going to try that. Okay. Oh. Is this set to 30 frames per... It's 43 frames per second? What am I filming? A CR to PS2? How long has it been set to 43? Jeez. This is hard. Really don't want to stretch it out much, but not sure how I can get it on elsewise. Okay, come on, it's real close here. Really, really close. Yeah. Come on. Oh, that's on. Okay. That's one side. All right. Nah. That'll work. Now I need to get it to hook down onto the bottom, which is a two-hand operation, two tweezers. I need to get it below the basket in the back. On the light. That's better. Aim forward, please. Okay, hold on. Here. There we go. Oh, that's way better. Okay. I need this to go under here and then to grab it with this one and then feed it onto one of these. Oh, there's a giant plate in the way going that direction. Oh gosh. Can I go up? Oh, that might work. Nope, that it can't go in and out. Oh gosh. Spare spring in case you launch one in the stratosphere. I'm hoping not. We'll see. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, get this under and ready. You can see it right there, barely clippity clip clip. Okay, now I just need to align this onto that. It's so close. Okay. Come on. This not being able to push this camera in and out is killing me. Enjoy looking at my scalp. That's not, well, it is technically on. That's the wrong spot though. So this should be easier to fix, but it's right here. Oh, you no way. It was not. Oh. I was just trying to jiggle it to see which one it was. No. Ugh. I need 12 hands. All right, you know what? Oh, but then I have no light. Dang it. What happened, what I didn't want to have happen, happened. Okay. So I somehow managed to get this to like just barely at the tip, and I was trying to grab this from this direction, but literally every single possible way I could look, the width of the tweezers would block it and I just couldn't see it. I was trying to see if I could maybe somehow get an angle. That did not just work. No, it did not. It went actually pretty bad. Oh, well, that might be slightly easier. As long as depth perception of me can understand what's happening. Okay, now, which one does it go on? It goes on... I hate this. This is terrible. There's got to be a better way of doing this that I just don't know. Well, during the factory assembly, it would not have been, you know, fully put together. Oh my gosh, should I just like ultra super luck out? I just ultra super lucked out. Okay. Okay, so I need to move it up 2. It needs to be on the 3rd from the last one. Oh my gosh. There's no way on earth I'm going to actually grab this thing correctly, and I'm going to have to feed it back down again. Like, it's impossible. If I get the spring in the wrong place, it may put weird tension on the hammer, and I want it to be correct. I'm in it this far. I shouldn't accept a weird half-done solution like that. Okay, it goes on the 3rd in one. There is no spring there. You gotta be kidding me. Just nailed it. Boom. Oh, it feels perfect. Like exactly the same as the others. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh. What do you mean it's supposed to go in like that? That is how they get installed, yes. Okay. Working in the IBM factory, yeah. Let's get the light off of here. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay. Now, let's do the bonus one. So one of these, I believe, is a little longer. And will be better suited towards this. You saw nothing. It happened off camera, and by happened off camera, I mean it didn't happen. Okay. It's definitely this one. Okay. So this spring will replace this one, which is not suited for this. Matter of fact, I think this is the spring that went under there before, and someone lost it and then just grabbed a random spring off the bottom and crammed it on there because the ribbons will not advance correctly without that. It prevents it from going backwards, I think. So this is necessary, but that's the wrong spring. So we're going to swap that spring out. Boop, boop. Yeah, look at how much shorter and stretched and trashed that one is. Wow. Okay, and then the bigger end should go on this side. Okay, I might have to actually try a little bit to install this. Yeah, that spring was absolutely knackered, yeah. Oop. Yeah, that time you saw it. There we go. And then over here, hooks on there, and boom. One springy spring. And that, I believe, is about as tight as the other one is. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that'll work out well. Okay. Done. That's the final repair. Now, in theory, I could try and replace this rubber pad down here, but I'm going to not worry about it. And then I'm probably going to be oiling and cleaning the cams for the rest of my life, so I'm not going to consider that a fault. Everything is done with the typewriter now. Oh my gosh. All right, let's button it up. Get the cover on for real now, because that always sucks, and I try to leave it like half on. So there's these two stabby bits on the front here. They go into these registration holes in here. But there's also these, which go on pegs in the back. And you'd think, oh, you just clip it on there and then jam it down. But no, they just stick straight out. So you got two of the ribbon springs to install on both sides. Oh, did I miss? Philip had to go.
Raccoon says CHEER 100. Everything is done with the typewriter, including the streamer. And
Yeah. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. It sucks to install this. So now that we're done, I'm going to install it one more time and I won't have to do it again. So there's the alignment in the front. And now I will get it properly aligned in the rear. I don't know if that one would be better off going on there, but I'm going to not install it. And I will just keep these as spares because I'm keeping some other stuff like the broken belt along with it. So back clips first, then the front. I guess the back are springy, but it doesn't like rotate back like you would think. Because what I can do here is I can grab a tool and then push the spring in, have it go around it. Like that. And then do it on the other side. Wow, that's a lot harder to see now. There's like a whole camera in the way. There we are. There we are. And then, yeah, it still flops loose. Like, that's hooked on, but then it flops loose. So it's out of the registration holes anyway. Maybe they need to be bent. I don't know how if they do. I'm just going to not worry about it. I don't think it's supposed to be able to do that, but it does. Well, now it won't go back down. Oh, it is going down, it's just going over them. So that's, I don't know. Whatever. All right, I'm calling that done. I need to go poke my deck top thing. There we go. I was hearing a bunch of random static that I should not. Okay. Whew. That's not good, washer. But that will tie into what I've got working or going in a bit here. Oh gosh, it's so heavy. And the platen moved into my wrist. That doesn't feel amazing. There we go. Whew. Okay. All right. One moment. My DAC Talk audio Bluetooth transmitter is losing its mind over here. What is this connected to on the other end? Okay. Ah. Super inconvenient to use. Although, yeah, actually I need to bring the counterbalance back up now that I've removed the flashlight. There we go. Okay. So let's go back to project 1. This. I want to figure out if that is a 40 track or an 80 track drive. So let's see what we can see. I see there is a sticker for the drive down in there. You are going to have to take my word. It's a Chinon drive. I can see that. I can't see what it is yet. So we probably need to remove this top board. So we do have
wiring harness off converted to a 1-T-Rack drive problem solved CHER 100 end of line.
Ben, thank you for the 100 bits. You weren't here, Ben. There's nothing wrong with it. I just need to know if it's an 80 track or 40 track drive so I know what discs to use with it. That's all. Oh, that's a weird solution. And for Zilog, here's the fun of the arm. When do we just go back to the other arm? Oh my gosh.
Chlorocoon says CHER 100. I used so many of that model of floppy. It was a very common base drive for BBC micros. End of line.
There you go. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. And that makes sense. BBC Micro, that makes me think it's going to be 40 track. It really is a shame that I can't use this more regularly, because, man, it is good. Oh, is that an official Max 232? I see Western Digital floppy controller over there. I don't see the Max 232. Unless it's that. I doubt it. Can't be. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I am blind. Good grief. You see the model number of drive? No, that's what we're trying to get to. It's under this board on the back. It's not going to be easy to see. So I'm going to maybe remove this board. It might be easier to just try and figure out what's holding the drive in and slide it out a little bit. What's holding the drive in is just a couple of screws. So we'll undo those 4 screws and then slide that out. Where did I put... Okay, they're stuck to this. %, sure it's a 1.2. See, I wouldn't have guessed that because the LED's red. And I stand by my red LED means 40 track. All right. I don't need it to come out all the way, just enough to see the sticker. So we'll see what that takes. We're definitely going to be able to read it. Okay. Okay. It is... a Chinon FZ506. Hold on, my phone has decided it's too good for fingerprints. Chinon FZ-506. Yep, looking at the manual now, it is a 1.2 meg drive. That's so weird. Okay. Good to know. Then I can use the cheap discs with it. Yes. Hello, only device I care about that uses 1.2 meg discs. But switchable? I don't buy into that. Okay. So, now we just need to get it reattached. What would be best if you want to clone 360K discs? A Tandem TM102A. That is the 360K drive. So the cut, no. So when they say switchable, they usually mean 300 versus 360 RPM, if I remember right. And that does not matter in practice because the drive speed doesn't do anything as far as the disc is concerned. Oh, it's just, if it double steps automatically, that's different. That would be incredible. Yeah, if it's double stepping and not changing the RPM, that would be amazing. Completely different things there. If this double steps with a hardware switch, I almost want to pull this out and put an FD55 GFR in there instead, because that's super cool, and I didn't know that that was ever a thing. It still has an arrowhead, yes, but for reading, I could maybe convince myself in theory, conceptually, that it doesn't matter. No, it does not make sense to use it for 360Ks, no matter what, because of the narrow head. All right, there we go. Look at that, a Hitachi 16x2 display just sitting there being a normal thing, and a Gold Star chip. That's a lot of jumpers in a spot for another thing back there. I wonder what all that is. Also, serial port is just wired for 9-pin. So all the other pins are unused. What did the label on the EEPROM say on it again? I think it said the EEPROM. PlotDrive 5. Jumpers are to set baud rate. It makes sense and is concerning. I'm going to need to find a manual. Hopefully it's just 9600 8N1 by default. Boom. Okay. I know what it is now. Has jumpers on the back panel. Wasn't able to find a manual. All right. It has option switches here and then a flippy doodad there, which does maybe something. I'll probably be opening it more and checking it out when I go to try and use it, but now I know what discs to bring with it. So I'm gonna go set this by the door with a fresh pack of 1.2s, also known as every pack of 1.2s, because who needs 1.2s? Do I have one that's open? No, but I have like 3 that are sealed. So, all right. Okay, how are we doing for time? We have exactly 1 hour left. We do not need an hour left for what I have planned. Uh-oh. Okay. So the last thing, yes, Ben, that is exactly what it is. Or to me, it is I don't have to deal with using USB LPT devices on Linux anymore and I will just maybe use ancient CryoFlux engine to drag and drop a text file onto a disk using a grease weasel, and then put the floppy in the thing and hit play. So anyway, boom. This is really difficult to use. Okay, do we want to, let's just put this back. Hold on. Let's move the camera back. I think I've proven the point. This is not acceptable, which is a real shame because it's so good. But the good news is what I want this for, the jib here, put a GoTech in it. That's depressing, but that would make a lot of sense. It would actually make the most sense to use a not floppy flash GoTech, because then I could just put files on the drive and yeah. And yeah, exactly. Now imagine you have to do that every single month, right when you're done with a video and you want it to just be over with because you've been editing for 8 hours that day, and then you realize I gotta film the printout and then fight LPT on Linux over USB. So good. Dump the EEPROM, send it to anyone. Oh, awesome. Now I don't have to. Haha. I mean, I totally was going to. Yes. I put this on backwards. One moment. If I put the clamp on backwards, this little adjuster thing completely covers the power switch, and then I can't turn the camera on or off. I have to put it on 180 degrees. No, that's not a serial floppy drive. That is not what it is. That is it reads data off of a floppy disk and then sends that data out over serial, just like straight up. It reads a text file and just prints the text file to a printer or something. So that's what that does. It does not connect to a computer to interchange data back and forth. Okay, and now excuse me. And now what's wrong with this power cable? Sure, why not? Okay. I have no idea what its problem was, but all right. So the power strip that I plug the other power strips into is getting replaced with this. So this is a GFCI adapter. I always want to pull it out of the front, but it's not, or the top, it's not. You pull it out of the bottom. Okay. So this is a thing I didn't realize you could just get until I started looking into this. So a lot of people commented, well, maybe not a lot, but enough people that I felt the need to think about it and address it. Commented on the video I did about setting up the foot pedals to be able to do this, all right, about getting an isolation transformer going, all right? And I think an isolation transformer is a bad idea for general purpose electronics repair, because you either have to get one that is absolutely massive to be able to support the full load of the outlet, or you risk overloading it. And then that risk is exacerbated by the fact that an isolation transformer by nature does not have ground connected, which means that all of your DC electronic devices, like say computers that have ground connected to ground, can no longer interface with anything else, like say video capture equipment. So I would not be able to video capture anything connected to the isolation transformer, because we would then have weird floating ground issues, which would be a terrible idea. And then I would have to put everything that is needed to use the computer, like a monitor, floppy drives, the computer itself, all on the isolated transformer, which then makes that weak load capability even worse. So that's where this comes in. Boom. This is just a GFCI adapter. So what this does is if you touch ground to live, it shuts off power. Now, I'm not even going to press the test button here, because I have a feeling that if you break the connection, or if you press the test button and short the ground to live, which is what that should do, it would work on upstream GFCI stuff, and I actually don't know what's upstream. So there's the potential that that would be a problem. So the main thing, though, that an isolation transformer protects you from is touching live to ground, because the isolation transformer is no longer connected through that main loop because of the isolated nature. This also protects you from touching live to ground by just cutting live if it detects live and ground are shorted. So that's why test button does not use the ground wire. All right, well, I'm still not going to touch it because it's not like I need to. So anyway, the idea here is that I'm going to plug the two power strips that go to through the foot pedals into this now, and then this will be the upstream connection that I can use to control that. And then if I ever make a mistake and touch live and ground or neutral and ground or whatever, this should do the exact same thing that an isolation transformer would, just by cutting power instead. But I don't have to worry about the ground being separate from everything else in the office. So, those are different concepts. I'm not using Twitch hash to discuss it. Okay, I'm not sure. It is not shorting. There was a test resistor inside. Oh, okay. Electro Boom. Yeah, well, Electro Boom probably has access to his breakers. So I'm not doing that. I did test it at home, and it passed the test at home, so that's fine. Okay, now the other thing. This one I'm a little more frustrated about. I'm replacing the power strips with two of these for mostly no particular reason other than I was able to get two of these in different colors. So I don't need to have the label along the edge. So I've got one that is black with yellow accents, and then in theory, someday, maybe, due to weird Amazon delays, I will have one that is silver with black accents being delivered. So I'm gonna have two of these that'll be different colors, and I will use that to distinguish between the latching and the momentary or dead man's foot pedal. Which brings me to another element. Vinyl tape. This one's like a minor thing. I just thought it was kind of a cool idea. So I got one of those weird packs of multicolored tape. I kind of said I would do this. We'll say isolation transformers rock. Would an isolation transformer do anything for a switch mode power supply? Just yes, no on that, if you are working downstream of the switch mode power supply. So I got fun color things. Reef let rip just for Christmas, most likely. Still building staff on premises, reset for me. Yeah. See, that would be cool. So here's my idea, okay? Since I'm gonna have a black and yellow one, I'm gonna use black and yellow for that, and then black and silver for the other. It's why we isolate. I'm not sure you got what I was saying there. That for the like 90% of what I work on in isolation transformer isn't gonna do me any good anyway, because switch mode power supplies don't need it. It's kind of what I was trying to hint at there. I think this has some kind of weird like multi-layer shrink wrap going on. Yeah, why are they individually? Oh, so the glue doesn't all stick to each other. Okay, that's actually kind of smart. Okay, so I got fun things here. Okay, so this is part one. Here's the other part. I got this. I'm not 100% sure what this is. This might just be packing tape. But the trick is, it's the exact same width as the vinyl tape, and as it says so on the spool, it is perfectly clear. My idea is label on this and then put a clear over it so that the label is effectively laminated. And then I can use the different colors of tape with Sharpie to, and I'll use actual Sharpie, not a dry erase marker, to create custom color-coded labels for this stuff. The idea I have in my head, okay, and someone asked, like, in the comments of the foot pedal video, why would you bother, like, marking them color-coded? There's a non-zero chance that I would not be the only person to use those foot pedals. So I feel like for a safety device, it would be really good to have it be extremely painfully obvious which goes to what and what they do. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to make this brain dead simple. Rick actually answers this case might get me in trouble, so leave it. They also sell the rolls individually. The colored ones, yeah, you can probably go to a store and buy those, but you know, I was trying to get bulk all the colors I wanted at once. So, just catching up here. Immediately thought ADHD proofing, yes. Should work for like a labeler with different colors of tape. Yeah, but those cost a lot more than these do to get it in varieties of colors. And this is the dumbest thing ever. I'm so tired of having to set up the brother label makers every single time I want to use them to not print 4 inches of waste label every single time. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna go with handwritten labels where I actually try and just do this instead, because it'll be a lot better. I'll probably end up buying more of this, but I wanted to just test that first to see how it goes. So, what kind of guitar up to electric typewriter? No. Bought some replacement shapes for tiny. Yeah. Again, it's not fully about the cost, as I said. Okay. So, one other thing that I wanted to talk about in relation to the foot pedals. So, a bunch of people talked about e-stops and dead man switches and other things like that. And I wanted to talk about why this makes more sense for me and my applications than an e-stop does. So an e-stop is something where, let's say you're operating a machine and maybe it's a lathe, okay? Everything about lathes is horrifying, okay? Let's say someone's wearing let's go with not a lathe, actually. let's go anything else. Let's say you work in a print shop, okay? And you got a tie on and the tie starts to get fed into the printer, okay? You scream out, someone else comes by, hits the e-stop, and then the printer stops. You can take off your tie and walk away from the machine, okay? That's what e-stop is, okay? It's for when something goes horribly awry and you need to, without being able to think about it, just activate the e-stop, cut power, keep going, okay? That's not what this is. It may seem like that's what this is, but that's not what this is. Because the critical difference between an e-stop and what I'm setting up is that I am expecting things to go bad. So I had a few people comment essentially along the lines of, when something goes wrong, a foot pedal is a bad idea because you have to look for the foot pedal because it's below your sight line, find it, and then step on it. Or that foot pedals are more likely to cause mistakes because it's not as precise, or, you know, you might accidentally step on it or something. Here's the thing. I am only using this when I'm expecting something to go wrong, and I don't want my hands to be involved in anything that is switching power. I want to be away from it, and using the foot pedal is a lot easier and safer than that. I could have also replaced this with a hand-operated power switch. So this will never be for, oh my gosh, something is horrendous that's happening that I need to stop now. This is for when, I mean, that might happen actually, but I'm just as likely to reach over to the power switch or strip and just shut it off that way, if that's the case. This is for, I'm plugging in a device for the first time ever, and I want to see what it does. And I might hear like a bearing in an 8-inch floppy drive is not lubricated and starts making grinding noises, and I can just, boom, immediately cut power to it. And I was watching for that when I first turned it on because I was expecting something to go wrong. Big difference. This is also why you added a fuse. So agree, it should be obvious as to why without any needs to think about it. Well, the difference between, again, needing to think about it or not is if I was putting in an E-fuse, I would put it over here. Or not an E-fuse, an E-stop. I'd put it over here so I could just slam against something over there. But that's not what this is. This is for, I need to turn it on, and then I'm going to be in the exact same position. Nothing is going to change. If something is visually wrong or sounds wrong, I will then immediately shut it off. Finding your foot pedal is a great idea. We use it, makes perfect sense. That's, yeah, I feel like for the exact use case I have, this makes perfect sense. Keep the pedal pressed to allow power to flow, keep release to stop. So I actually have two pedals. This one is latching, this one is momentary. So this is the momentary strip, and you can see it's orange and orange here, and I'm gonna make this more obvious later, but press it, power, release it, no power. There is an element to this that I am wishing I had considered. I would like to use this one for the even sketchier devices, but I don't have a fuse on it. And I'm now thinking, perhaps I should have put the fuse in the power strips instead. And I guess I could still do that. But it would mean the effort I did to this is kind of a waste. Because I'm not going to be able to fit a fuse in this. So kind of thinking perhaps I should put a fuse in the power strips. By the way, I tried to look up fused power strips. Not really a thing, at least on Amazon. Excuse me. Anyway, so this one's momentary, as you saw, and then this one is latching. So that's the difference. This is a surge protector. Doesn't have a fuse? No, that's not what a surge protector is. Or it's a, no. So surge protection is like lightning strikes and there's a high voltage. It's basically a spark gap or something like that. No fuse, more fuse. And not really, not when I lose power and can't film anymore. Power strips don't have the usual 15 amp breaker. That's not that common. Like, here's an example. This is a UL listed Amazon power strip, okay? No breaker. That's not common. Anyway, 15 amps is not going to be helpful. But yeah, I think we might end up drilling these and putting fuses in them now that I think about it. So I'm going to wait until I get the silver one to implement these, because I think we'll just do both of them. And then the foot pedal will just have one for giggles as like a backup. I don't know. Yeah. All surge protector becomes fused with enough voltage. Well, hopefully we don't have that happen. Okay, any other elements to this? I think that's all of that.
They've subscribed for 20 months. End of line.
Snowboard Monkey, thank you for the Prime sub and for 20 months. That's that many there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Have a power strip that doubles as a 10 amp breaker. UK's got better with their fusible plugs. Yeah, the plugs being fusible makes a lot of sense. We don't have that. And for the people who always say like, oh, I would replace the power cable on X thing. You know how much old vintage garbage I have that has sketchier power cables, like hardwired into it? Like any television from the 80s comes with like speaker cable going to an outlet plug that has zero like vinyl insulation around the prongs. You just kind of jam it into the wall and hope for the best. Compared to what China mails out, this is fine. I have no problems with that. Okay. Here's a fun one. I bought a box of Sharpies. I wanted to never have to think about glue sticks again. So here we go. Now I don't have to think about this. Boom. Done. Fun fact, while I was looking up like bulk purchase glue sticks, there are some that you can get that come in 3-foot long versions of this for some reason. And I have no idea why. Are you sure this is enough? I'm hoping this is a lifetime supply. I'm glad that it comes in a well-fitting box because that's where they're staying indefinitely. Is it supposed to be floppy like that? Yeah, it's not resin. It's hot glue. So, yeah, it's not that fancy. That's like all the glue sticks Costco warehouse. Dude, I was so scared when these were being delivered because it was, and I'm not even kidding, 115 degrees outside. And I was afraid I was just going to get a giant block of solid hot glue. But apparently the vans are actually air conditioned. So, yeah, that didn't happen, thankfully. Okay. I think that is it now. You coil the 3-foot once, but like, that's so weird. I know there are like worm gear powered hot glue guns that you can get. It's gotta be for that. But I don't know what you are building that much of, that you need that much hot glue in one go. I just, like, imagine the like stereotypical wearing overalls, white t-shirt, hard hat, construction worker with a glue gun. Hot glue gun, like not even the caulking sealant. Like, it's just a weird thought. Anyway. All right. So when I get the other one of this, we'll do some foot pedal maintenance, but until I get that, I'm just gonna have to stick with these. All right. What else we got going on here? Was there a box marked lifetime supply? You checked me, ordered that? I tried. Oh, this is like a completely dumb thing. I bought these and I didn't really pay attention, and then I realized how thin the roll was, and I was mad because like this is definitely a thing where you'll like buy, this is just blue tape, by the way, painter's tape. I use this all the time for different weird stuff. Oh, this is like soft. Oh, it's so weird. And it's the really dark kind. Anyway, I thought I was getting screwed because the thinner this is, the less material you get. Like, look at how thick that is by comparison. And then I looked at my roll of actual 3M brand. It's the same diameter. So I guess it's not a scam, or at least it's a scam that even the big players are doing. So, oh well, but now I have more blue tape because I'm constantly running out of that because I don't put more than 2 feet on a roll. Anyway. All right, I think that's it. I went on a spending spree over the week, obviously. So there we go. In one go and one shift on the assembly line. Who is using hot glue on an assembly line? Anything that is pre-built with hot glue cannot exist in Arizona. That's a standard tape dispenser hole size for like the tape guns, I'm guessing. That would be my only guess. There are my packing tape, same size. They are, so that's probably it then. Okay. Arizona is just a myth to scare children. Fun fact. 2011 was the first release of the Nissan Leaf, the electric car. All right. I think it was 2011. 2013 is the first model year with their new Lizard battery that was designed specifically not to explode because of the heat in Arizona. All right, I kind of want to label something just to try that. The battery's pretty much zero cooling. Oh yeah, no, they have none. They had no active cooling. I think now they finally do, the current gens. Nissan having a Arizona test track, they would have accounted for that sooner? Yeah. Have you seen, you probably haven't, I believe it was here at the Arizona test track. They took one of the Leafs and they cut the back off and they made it a shop truck. 2012 must have been a fun year, yeah. Been to Biosphere 2? I don't know where the other one is. No, those are not super convenient places to get to. No, I have not been to Starfleet Academy. Obviously, since I know that, you know, I wouldn't mind it. All right. What do we want to label? I want to label a thing. Nissan has atrocious CVT. Well, good news. They don't have that in the Leaf. Biosphere 2 is not the water place? No. It's where the oh my gosh, I cannot remember his name. The groundskeeper.
FROSTYWOLF ABS.
Pretty sure.
Prime. They subscribe for 7 months. And says I hate non-programmers. First they say AI will replace programmers. Then they ask us to help them with AI. End of line.
Frosty Wolf, thank you for the Prime sub and for 7 months there. I appreciate that. Yes, Boothby. That's correct. Biosphere 2. Okay. Biodome Australia. FIFA Laws Biodome. Is that what it is? Biodome? I don't know. There's too many. Anyway. That one I wouldn't mind going to at some point. Okay. What are we going to label? Oh, yeah. I found the scanners for doing the wedge scanning, by the way. So we're going to do that at some point. What do we want to label? Let's think about this. Label the 1.2 drive as 1.2. I guess. I feel like I might end up putting more labels on that, though, after I learn more about it. So I kind of don't want to do that yet. Wanting something semi-permanent. Something like this, where it doesn't say that it's 12 volts, something like that. That would be good. If I've got a thing like that. Let's see. Could be a cable label, although those usually suck with the vinyl label tape or vinyl tape because the glue lets go and then it slides and then it puts sticky glue all over the whole thing. But I could do the other trick you can do where you have the tape that you're going to wrap around and you put another piece of tape on the inside of that curve so that it still slides and then the glue doesn't like ooze out on there. Biodome's movie, that Starfleet. Okay. So Desiac, I think, I don't, you know what? I'm just going to drop it because I don't know enough of it offhand. Anyway, I want to label a thing. Let's find a thing to label. Hold on here. There's got to be something. Oh man, if I didn't have an IBM PS2 setup over there, we could look at something else. But I need a blue tablecloth to be able to do that. Could do it with a different color tablecloth. Or that blanket, maybe? Ooh, we might film something here. We might film something cool. Oh, that's cool, Desiac. That is cool. All right, I want to film a thing. I had no idea this existed until recently. This is Maximum Linux Magazine. So from the creators of Maximum PC, there is Maximum Linux. This is a sealed copy that comes with a copy of Linux Mandrake 7.1. I want to film unsealing this and flipping through it a little bit. I have some particular objectives I will be using this for, but I want to film unsealing it because it's like it's sealed. It's perfect. Also, it's unscanned, but we're not scanning it today because, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work. So let me get set up with a cover for the table here. You know what? I got the really nice satin cloth here somewhere. Ugh, I just saw it. Where is it? Okay, I just had it. Where did I put it? Because I'd rather not use that blanket. All right, blanket it is. I just don't want to film it on the bare workbench, that's all. Okay. I have no idea what the reference is supposed to be there. Maybe it's X-Files, maybe it's just, well, I mean, it's obviously X11. Wow, this is really dirty. Wow, it's still really dirty. Hold on, we're gonna vacuum the blanket really quick. Which is foot pedal activated. Wow, that's working so well. Yay. It's just dust, get off of there. All right, that'll have to do. To the Electrolux, no, just use the Atrix for that. Is that a piece of copper strand? Yes, it is. I'm gonna pinch that in my fingers and make it flip out of the way. Okay. There we get blinded by the lighting. That'll work right there. Okay, I'm excited. I'm really curious what's in this. Hold on, let me just align this to the table so I don't screw it up. Okay. Let me go get a drive and format it and prep it. Absolutely X-Files reference. The truth is in here. I've never seen X-Files. Which I'm sure will be heresy for some. Okay, well now the camera's way up here. I can't see anything. That's wrong. I want this, and this, and that, and this. This, and formatting. There we go. See, the exact first Linux magazine I ever had in my hands. That's cool. I spent way too much money on this because I really, really wanted this particular issue. Curious about the partitioning first aid kit. I'm just curious about the whole thing. I'm in particular curious about this, but that's a different thing. Okay, formatting complete. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to double check. I should be able to start and stop recording from this. Oop. Ooh, no, that's what I was concerned about. Okay, I can't record on that without having a drive plugged into the A10. So, when is this issue from? This is from September 2000. All right, and recording. Okay. You know what, let me just really quick confirm that it's actually 4K. Yeah. Sometimes for stream I'll set it to 1080p, which is undesirable. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the jiggle to stop. Because this is no camera jib. Really would have been cool if we could have used that more, but nah. 60 FPS? Yes, that is now, which... I wonder if that could explain some oddities I had with video editing recently. But yeah, still 60 FPS. Okay, let's roll. All right, here we go. Fancy putting it down. Nope. Fancy putting it down on camera. Beautiful, centered and everything. It'll make everyone feel nice and happy to watch. So flip this over. All right, so, boom, we're in. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Dude, the penguin is a 3D model and you can see like the edges of the model. Filming B-roll? Yes, I do. I am very curious what is going to be in a Linux magazine. So... I kind of want to play Count the Penguin. Why is that Windows logo backwards? Example of no copyright intended. I think they were showing switching away from Windows. So the crash dummy would be facing that. It's not backwards. You were just facing the wrong direction. I'm trying not to crease the spine too much. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, there's how you install your copy of Mandrake that you got with it. It's a good reason to get a sealed copy. Rip ThinkGeek. Was there a ThinkGeek ad? Did I miss that? Oh my gosh, it is ThinkGeek. Dude. Yeah, rip ThinkGeek. Why is there one full black printed page? We're turning the email world upside down. Oh my gosh. Wow. I always regret not getting a ThinkGeek Enterprise pizza cutter. Kids swearing. Oh my gosh, what is the world coming to? Pizza cutter was kind of mid, I know, but to me it's kind of iconic. ThinkGeek. Oh my gosh, we are totally doing a penguin count for the video that this will be shown in. 100%. Anyway, free BSD. Excuse me, this is a Linux magazine. Get out of here with your BSD. Oh, hey, DCAC, what do you know? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You guys will find out eventually. Oh man. All right. Oh my gosh, the penguin count's gonna be crazy when we get to this page. Jeez. Fry's Electronics ad. Well, no, it's just saying it's at Fry's Electronics. The suppressed history of Unix. Okay. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh. WordPerfect Office Linux. I kind of have that, actually, I think. Mine is missing the inflatable penguin. Over 3,000 products for Linux. Why is the Palm Pilot for Linux? Was there Palm Pilot management software for Linux? I am not aware of that. Hold on. Corel WordPerfect, Turbo Linux Server, Linux for Dummies. These are all books. Just Palm Organizer. Palm Organizer 5. Hold on here. Palm 5. Is there any mention of Linux anywhere on this at all? Okay, system requirements. IBM compatible PC, Windows 95, 98, NT, Mac, no Linux. What? Weird. Why? Why is that there? Anyway. Desiak. I couldn't feel more vindicated. Oh my gosh. What? Hold on. I flipped the page and lost it. Dude, come on. All right, well that's everything solved then. Jeez. They're almost not going to believe me that I came up with it on my own. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take this out because it's going to mess with flipping through stuff from here on out. Okay, partition magic, that you boot. Recovery feature, page 48. Okay, so I'm guessing that's how they're expecting you to do that stuff. Drive image probe. Again, these I don't think actually run from within Linux. They boot, right? Maybe not. Because I guess in theory, these should support ext. Probably, were we up to ext3 by then? For all I know, we're up to ext4. It's been around for 3 billion years. A lot of those native to Linux, I guess I don't know. Oh, installing Windows 98 on Linux? Trying to emulate Windows under Linux is a great idea. Unfortunately, Win4Lin often botches the execution. This is cool. I am very much enjoying this magazine. Oh, look, another thing I need to take out. There you go, your giant, apparently X-Files parody. I wonder what software they use to make this. What? This is just Star Wars Episode 1, the movie. Okay. My wallet would not like it. What would happen if there was a Linux version of that game? If it ever showed up on eBay. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, that's X-Ready. I was going to say it's an X-Render file, but no, not quite. There's Quake 3. 3DFX tips. That's me. Those of you with the Voodoo 3 or Voodoo Banshee cards have a little extra work to do to use some of the advanced features. Oh, yeah, just go to 3DFX's website, linux.3df.com. I'm sure that was archived. What is this Kandara edgy penguin Linux thing? Oh my gosh. That one's also fantastic artwork. Okay, I kind of love this magazine. I might want every issue. It isn't going to happen. Although, actually, you know what? Of all of the magazines that it would be worth spending $30 an issue on to get a full set, I don't think this ran for that long. It might be attainable. Oh yeah, Advanced Perl Part 2. It's definitely a Linux magazine, for sure. Are there still Linux magazines? I actually have a very big chunk of Linux Journal out in the front room, too. $30 a magazine? Yeah, that's what it cost me to get this one. It exists? I will have to take a peek. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Dude, it's actually made by PFU? That's kind of cool. I'm sorry. What? There was a Linux layout for the original Happy Hacking? Yeah, I'm not trying to find that. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Happy Hacking keyboard light, though. Unix layout, no dedicated caps lock key. Okay, so they put control up there. Ooh. Oh my gosh, penguin count's gonna be so high. There you go, the GIMP. With, I can't tell what the wallpaper is of the user. So that magazine also has other magazines? Oh, I'm sure. Oh, classy magazines. Ah. I think I skipped a page. I did. We wouldn't want to miss all that masking action. Yeah. I love how, like, AI object isolation is like a thing, but here we are 26 years earlier and it's still a thing. I think it's... I can't tell. I think it's a movie, but I don't know what movie it is. Oh my gosh, I think it's X-Files. I think that's what that wallpaper is. Because I can see the, like, X there, and it ends in the L-E-S. Oh my gosh, they're telling you how to make Winamp skins. That's actually, this is a really good tutorial. This is a very well done article. That's cool. Oh, Monty Hall, we know we don't want to pick that one, so... Sudden enlightenment spiral features. Holy moly, okay. So we got NVIDIA, first open source x86 drivers, in addition 2D X server. Okay, so this is about cards and drivers. So we've got Riva, and then we got Voodoo. Okay, and then we also got the GeForce over there. So that's hardware. Oh, sound. Unreal Vortex 2. Definite. What's this weird add-on card? Is that a wavetable? It's gotta be. Oh man, that's just generic Creative Live. Nothing fancy going on there. Okay, the X Games. I'm quite curious about this. So we've got freeware, 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 freeware. And that's it. Really? Wow. Okay. Seriously? Okay. Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 Arena are great games if you have a really fast system with a good 3D accelerator, but what if your computer sucks? That's what this is about. Are you kidding me? Come on. I am annoyed. That was the article I was most interested in, and it was worthless. No ZSH. Couple last minute things here, and then it's looking like we're gonna wrap this up. Ask the Penguin. Interesting. Wondering if USB is supported in Linux yet. It's the year 2000. My gosh, it better be. At this time, latest news in USB support has been restricted to that of development of... How is USB not in Linux yet by the year 2000. Huh. Oh, writing Nick Expressway. Hold on. Mandrake CD I got was great. It's easy to install and easy to use. Only problem I had is it didn't detect my Intel Ether Express 16ISA card, even after using funky stuff. Hang on tight, because this one is easy. You need to recompile support for your card. Go to the source. Oh, so they're actually going to have drivers recompile. I thought it was going to be a case of NDIS wrapper. Because that was the kind of horrifying stuff you had to do in this time. Coming next issue, CD Burner Showdown. That feels like something that should have been in regular Maximum PC. Penguin counter. Penguin levels reaching critical mass. There we go. Maximum Linux, August 2000. There we go. I'm very excited to have picked this up. Just out of curiosity.
CHER 500. Thanks for sharing. End of line.
Mr. Poolshot, thank you for the 500 bits there. I appreciate that. Just real quick, I will be back in a second. I'm going to go grab something. Oh, these look like they're a lot later. Now, if you weren't of the gamer variety, these would have been your Linux of choice for publications. Linux Journal. So we're not going to be able to flip through this whole thing, but this is January 2006, so 6 years later. All right, what are we looking at? This is probably much more professional, as in every single ad I've seen so far is server hardware. Big ol' LCD monitor, something Whisper Station, yawn. Creating DVDs. That one's a little more normal, more server nonsense. So yeah, these are the more boring technical focused ones, although there is one in here that is pretty interesting. Is the cover story kind of says the whole thing somewhere in here. I don't know if it's going to be on the spine. Not easily. Oh, look, more Win for Lin stuff. Here, hold on. Let me just take out a couple of these chunky books. Just flip through. Ooh, hello. Hey, Deziak, you want one of those? You know, maybe. Hold on. There's a really, really funny one in this. It's not that. A MAME cab? That's kind of cool. Related to that. Wait, what's this? Ooh, nope. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Boom. Now that is an issue of a magazine, if I ever seen one. Yeah, so that one would be fun to take a peek through at some point, but yeah. So that is what date? April 2007. So Other OS still in effect then. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Oh gosh, all the magazines are flopping around. Bad magazines. You know, let's just not put every book in there all at once. What are these books that are clearly part of a series? Tandy Color Computers. That's interesting. Oh gosh. Okay. Yep, the class action lawsuit that was won. Sony was good at that for a while, just like with the 3G on the Vita. All right, one more thing before we wrap this up. Just in case there's one on eBay and I remember to go look. All right. That's it for today. So that was today's completely random, weird stream of every random project that I'd had kicking around that I hadn't got to. We have an actual objective for this weekend, though, because I have the Sharp PC 1251 that I was sent that needs new LCD. I've got LCDs. So we're going to try and replace that tomorrow. If I don't think it's going to be like a 2-day stream, but if it does, you know, we can bleed that over into Sunday. But yeah, so that is it for now. And I am going to run the outro. All right. Well, I appreciate you all being here.
GER 128 yay. End of line.
And Dora Fox, thank you for the 128 bits. I appreciate that. I appreciate you all being here. If you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like this one. But that's it for now. And I will push the vacuum cleaner switch and spook myself. That's it for now, and I will see you next time. Maybe that's why they were saying foot pedals are dangerous.